It's definitely one of those classes where you learn 2 plus 2 in class and then 10 for homework and 50 for the project. And every day I wake up and I think, wow, I love my major. You are watching my aunt's channel. Welcome. My name is Gabrielle Branch. People call me Gabby. And I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm a senior studying interactive media, so class of 2021. Why did I choose my major? Okay, so that's a funny story. I came into NYU Abu Dhabi with plans of being a doctor. I was like, I'm gonna study biology. Science is the way. So I came here, I did first 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I wasn't feeling happy. Like, I liked biology, don't get me wrong, I still liked it, but something just felt missing. I didn't feel like I was doing what I was meant to be doing. And so while I was doing first 3 and 4, I decided to take 2 IM courses as well. And I took 2 classes. I took ComLab, which is one of the requirements, and Senses, Body and Motion, which is actually one of the more advanced classes. And I fell in love. I just loved it. I loved being able to integrate art and coding and electronics and everything together. So then I decided, you know what, I'm going to take a break from sciences, and if I like it, I continue with it. If I don't like it, I go back to science. And I went to Shanghai and I took more IM classes. By the end of that semester, I knew this was what I was meant to do. Honestly, I haven't looked back since. I think it's been the best decision that I've made. So what is interactive media? That's a question that everyone asks all the time. Interactive media is like the intersection of different forms of media through art, design, and technology. We could do anything from web development to robotics. It's really fun major because you really like blend a lot of things together. What does the curriculum look like? It's not an extensive curriculum. Like, you don't have 16 classes you need to take. 4 foundational courses, and those are Intro to IM, obviously, Communications Lab, which is more web development side. There's Communications and Technology, which is more theoretical, and there's Understanding IM, which is also theoretical, like an intro theory class. You have to take 6 electives, and from those electives you have a wide span of classes that you can choose from. You can also choose from other major classes that overlap with IM, but you have to take 1 that falls under the category of computational media, 1 that falls under media and design thinking, and then 1 that falls under physical computing. Then after that, of course, you have capstone 1 and 2, where you create, so I'm doing my capstone right now, and you basically work on this year-long project using the skills that you learn in all the other classes, and then make a project based on that. What was one of my favorite classes? One of my favorite IM classes will have to be Intro to IM. No, not Intro. I really like Intro, but one of my favorite classes would have to be Performing Robots with Michael Shilo. Performing Robots was amazing because I really like physical computing. You have the code area and then you use it to make physical components run. One of my projects was to use a motor to make a clock or build robots. I get to overlay both the digital and the physical, and I think that makes it really fun to explore. What was one of the most memorable assignments? Actually, I have 2. Made a ballerina robot we call her Angelina Ballerina. So we built her from scratch. She was about like the size of a 5-year-old girl. She was able to like move her arms up and down, and then she was also able to go out into development with her legs in time to the music. And then we gave her a tutu skirt with lights, and she'd twirl. So the faster she twirled, the lights will change as well. An actual robot that could dance. And we made that in the space of 7 weeks. And it was difficult, but it was also really fun to put together and to see it come to life. Other project was a piece where I put a bed in the art center. So like if you're a freshman and you haven't been on campus yet, the art center is where all the art classes happen. So I put a bed in the hallway, and I had a projection and a pillow, and it was called a global pillow. And this was my first IM class, so it was really difficult because I had to learn how to solder wires together. I had to learn how to code it. I had to learn how to project the map so that it would stay, the projections would stay where it's supposed to be. And essentially the pillow had a map on it, and when you press different countries on the map, it will play a lullaby from that country. So you can just take a nap in the art center with my global pillow, just listening to music from lullabies from around the world. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard is the curriculum? IM could be anything between, I'd say, a 4 and a 10, because one of the beauties of it is that there's a lot of independence. It's definitely one of those classes where you learn 2 plus 2 in class and then 10 for homework and 50 for the project. But it's really up to how much work you put in and how much work you want to put in, because you can use the basics and make a decent project, or you can use the basics and grow on that and try to improve that and make something out of this world. How hardcore it is how hardcore you want to make it. Obviously, the more effort and time and energy you spend into your project, the better the result and the more you learn from it. But you can also prioritize your time and then make some projects really good and some projects as much as you need to get through. What kind of school activities are relevant to your major? It definitely pulls from art and technology. So I know there's some students who take part in like hackathons to help them out with the coding aspect. Some people do internships. I did an internship with this company called Atlantic because they taught a class for the IM department in London, and then I did a summer internship with them. So people do internships like that, like animating, coding internships. Because it's art and technology, other skills can be used and brought into IM. So for example, my capstone is a dance interactive project. I take a lot of dance classes and I'm in the dance club, and then use that skills to then bring into IM. So there's really no limit as to what you can do. Like, the possibilities are endless. In what ways does the school support provide resources for your major? We have an IM lab which has all the resources you could possibly need as an IM major, and if we don't have it, chances are your class has a budget that allows you to get the equipment you need. So that means we have soldering stations, we have consumable items like motors and wires and sensors and all those fun stuff. And then we have a fabrication area. So that means we have a 3D printer, we have a laser cutter, we have everything you could really need, really. On top of that, we, as part of the arts programs, the arts and humanities programs, we have access to other resources from other departments. So we can, once we're trained, we can use the film equipment from the film area, we can use the music equipment from the music department, we can use the scene shop, which is like this wood shop where you can be trained to learn how to use all the equipment to work with wood, and from a table to a robot, like what we did. So you learn how to use like the jigsaw cutter and like the sanding down machine, everything. We have a lot of resources. Right now, because of COVID, the system is a bit different. We can't just go, but usually you can go into the lab at any point once you're an IM student, any point as in 24 hours, and work on any projects, and the consumable items are always there for grab. Stuff like projectors and connect sensors and so on, you need to check out, because obviously you need to return them. You can check them out anytime during the week. Endless resources and support, because the teachers are always there. We have lab monitors, we have lab instructors. The lab instructors are like actual professionals, but the lab monitors are students. So half the times they're working on their projects too. So they're always there and can offer support and help. What are your major exams like? That's the beauty of IM. There aren't really exams, there aren't really papers. Our major is really projects based. Most classes would have a midterm project and a final project. Some classes, documentation is really important. So you might have to do blog posts to show your progress on a project, which is really helpful because sometimes the final may not work the way you wanted, but you have proof to show that you've created up to the certain point. So our finals are project based, and it's great because we don't actually have exams during exam period. We have a showcase at the end of the semester, which shows all the projects from all the classes in the IM department all together. That's really an intense period, because if you're doing more than one IM class, all your projects are due at the same time. But as soon as the IM show is over, you're done. Halas, your projects are done, you're complete, but you don't really have like exams or like tough like papers or like 10-page paper. No, we don't really do that. But again, this depends on your classes. Computing the classes, you have to make like physical computing projects. For classes like sensors, body and motion, you have to do a final performance. For classes like games and play, you have to make a game for classes like communications lab, you have to make a website. It's still really intense because you have to make this complete project, but it's not based on like memorizing or trying to like study. No, it's you're building and you're creating and you have something to show for it when you're done. Any advice on freshmen who are interested in majoring in IM? Yes. Take IM. Take IM. It's one of the best majors you can possibly do, honestly. Okay, let me think this one through. Interactive media is one of those special majors that is new, which means there's still things being figured out, but that's also the beauty of it, because you come and you're able to shape your major, shape your degree, and on top of that, you're constantly doing. You have stuff to show at the end of your 4 years. Like, I did these projects. It's flexible. We're in a liberal arts college, so why not do a degree that is so rooted in liberal arts? It intersects. It's like a cross-disciplinary major. It's so much fun because you're always working with people and working on projects. It's such a great community of students. We become really close, mainly from struggling over projects at 2 a.m. But you build memories, you create. And I think if you have any ounce of creativity, you should consider IM. If you want to be an engineer, consider taking an IM class. Sometimes I like to say we're like artsy engineers. We create, just like engineers, we create for creating's sake. If you're considering computer science, take an IM class. We do a lot more application than CS, but we still use the same foundations. If you are an art student, take an IM class. We're also working with the arts, but we are bringing in the technology, and we're living in a world where technology is the future. So why not jump right into it? And if I became a freshman again, I would 100% do IM. In fact, I would start even faster. I didn't start off as IM, but I found it and I'm in love with it. And every day I wake up and I think, wow, I love my major. Like, there are days where I'm like, oh, I have to go to class, I have to work on this project. But overall, I always feel happy when I'm done with my projects, and I think, yeah, I love it. I actually love what I'm doing. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Keep watching.